if you have a business, you kind of gotta need people who want to buy from your business, people who want your things, people who are interested in your business. And those are called leads. And I remember when I first started learning about building an email list, about lead generation, like all the things, I so badly wanted an email list with tens of thousands of people on it. Hell, I just wanted 1,000 people on my email list. And I was so jealous of those people who just already had thousands of people on their email list because I felt like that had to make business so much easier. And let me tell you, it does. When you have a ton of people on your email list, when you have a ton of leads on your email list to buy your things, your launches go smoother. You have bigger launches. You can do more things. So it's definitely worth what you probably think it's worth. But as someone who totally knows how it feels to have 0 people on her email list and now has, tens of thousands of people on her email list, I can tell you why it's so freaking important. And I can also tell you how I get thousands of new people on my email list every single month. Hey, howdy. Hey, y'all. What is up? My name is Jessica. If you're new here, hello. Hi, how are ya? If you're not new here, welcome back. So pumped that you're here. Seriously. Having people subscribe to my channel and then come back and watch videos, chef's kiss. You've probably heard before, and definitely you've heard from me, how important an email list is. But we're going to talk about it again right here because I need to emphasize the importance of an email list, okay? So one, and probably most important thing on why they're important, you own your email list. It is the only platform that you can build that you own the people who've elected to be on it. And what I mean by that is you don't own the people, obviously, but you own their email addresses. You own the right to contact them. On social media, you do not own those audiences. Like if you went to Mark Zuckerberg and you were like, hey, Zuck, can I have a list of all the people who follow me on Instagram's emails? Their actual emails, please. He would be like, haha, no, because you don't own that audience. They do. You've built a platform and those people follow you, but you can't just be like, hey, I'd like to email these people or I'd like to text these people. That's not a thing. And you also can't mass broadcast to them other than making a post or something like that. Now, Instagram does have a new broadcast feature that I'm really excited to try out, but for the most part, it's not a thing. And you don't own them, so it doesn't matter. There's no control to social media. It is all algorithmic based. With your email list, that's actually not true at all. You own your email list. So these are people who have taken the time to put in their email and say, hey, I want to subscribe to this thing that this person said that I should subscribe to, and I want more emails from this human. They've taken the time out of their day to do that, and that's a big deal because everybody knows we don't want more emails in our inbox, So then those emails are there for you. If you want to move them from one email marketing system to another one, you can. If you want to print them out and carry them in your pocket, you can. And then it would be super easy to be like, okay, I want to email my list today. Let me list out all these people and go for it. You can't do that with any other platform. I have almost 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I can't be like, you know what? These people have subscribed to me on YouTube. I want to move them over and make sure they follow me on Instagram. You just can't do that. Each platform is platform specific, but with your emails, you reserve the right to do those things. So that's probably the number one reason why an email list is so freaking important. But the second reason, and also super important reason, is because the conversion numbers are higher than social media, but also more predictable. So if you're running a business where you're trying to launch things, you're trying to launch digital products, courses, services, physical products, whatever, you're trying to launch things. If you own a business where you're trying to launch things or you're trying to sell things, being able to reach more of the people who've elected to be there is huge. We all know how that is. If you go make an Instagram post and then you look at the insights of that Instagram post, very few people have actually seen it compared to how many people follow you. Very few. Because it's up to the algorithm how many people get to see that. But with email marketing, you send the email and it delivers to their inbox, in most cases anyway, not always, but it delivers to their inbox and then they make the choice on whether or not they want to open it, read it, see it, whatever. And so you are reaching way more people with an email list than you can with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, because of the algorithm's choice on whether this video or this post gets seen more or not. Therefore, it's way more predictable. If I have 10,000 followers on Instagram and I want to try and like that's the only way I'm marketing my thing, right? And I want to try and predict how many people are going to purchase that thing, it's going to be very hard for me to do because how many people see my stories is up to the algorithm. How many people see the post I put out? Up to the algorithm. How many people see the reel I put out? Up to the algorithm. It's going to be very hard for me to be like, okay, 10,000 followers on Instagram, I'm going to convert 1% of them to sales, and like, here's my numbers. Like, it's so hard to do that. But with an email list, you can. With an email list, you can say, okay, so every single time that I launch, I get 40% of people to open my emails, and 60% of those people click. These are really high numbers, but 60% of those people click, and 30% of those people sign up for the event, like the webinar or whatever that I'm hosting to launch this thing. And then from that webinar, this many people purchase. And so it's going to be really easy for you to be like, okay, so if that is the case, then I need to grow my email list by this amount before my next launch to be able to get the numbers I want to get. Or, for instance, I just finished up a birthday weekend sale. And basically, I had a sale Thursday and Friday of 37% off of my shop on my site. So any kind of digital product, any kind of course, without payment plans, anything you wanted to get, you could get for 37% off for my birthday. I haven't looked at those conversion rates or emails or anything yet, honestly, because I'm technically recording this before the sale happens. But even if I wasn't, I'm not going to look at them on the weekend. We'll look at them on Monday. But I haven't really looked at those numbers. But what I can do is I can look at those numbers and use those numbers to decide how I'm going to promote my next thing, or how my emails are going to be for my next thing, or whatever. So I can look at that and I can be like, okay, so I sent out these emails about my birthday sale. Each email had about a 30% open rate. Each email had about a 20% click rate, and I made this many sales and I made this much money. So each of those clicks was worth this much money. Whether or not they purchased, I can kind of equate a click to a dollar amount. So with every click, I made 20 cents. With every click, I made 50 cents, like whatever the scenario is. So the next time I do some kind of pop-up sale, whether it's for my birthday or Black Friday or like whatever the scenario is, I can then say, okay, so I know that a click is worth this amount of money. How can I increase the amount of clicks? How can I increase the amount of money per click that I get? And I can use that as a way to actually drive forward in the business. Now, building an email list can be a little bit scary, and people get really confused on things with email lists. But I definitely have tons of other videos on email marketing, how to build an email list, how to start an email list, all of those things. I will link below to those in the description. But I really just wanted, before we talk about how I gain thousands of people on my email list every month, I wanted to talk about why it was so important, so that if you don't have an email list, you realize why you need one. 99.9% of my lead generation strategy originates here on YouTube. And it has since I started doing YouTube, because for me, this is the most consistent content that I put out on the internet. And I can create videos that I know people are going to watch, either my subscribers, new people, like whatever, and I can create resources for those people to want to take the next step, or to want to do the thing that I talked about, and ask them to subscribe to my email list to get those, and it works so well. So personally, my biggest strategy to growing my email list, the thing that gains me thousands of new leads per month, is YouTube. And a lot of times, the really cool part is that it's old content. Like, so many times, the things that are getting people on my email list are old videos that have old lead generators or old freebies on them that are getting people on the email list. Not that those freebies aren't still valuable or whatever, but they're older, and I'm still gaining thousands of new leads per month from content I did a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, in addition to the leads I'm gaining from the content that I'm doing now. Now, you have to kind of tiptoe around this strategy on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't want you to send people off the platform very much. So I teach this a lot in like my YouTube programs and things, but what I do is not in every video. Y'all know that. If you watch my channel, I don't do it in every video. Actually, I don't do it very often at all. But in certain videos, I will be talking about X, Y, or Z thing, right? Like, let's say today we're going to talk about lead generation, email marketing, whatever. And I will talk about this thing, and then I will be like, oh, I have this free resource for you to be able to go further with this thing, to go further with what we talked about today, to do more with what we talked about today. To download it, go to xyz.com. And then when someone goes to that URL and they sign up for that freebie, they get it delivered to their inbox, but that is a new lead on my email list, which means that the next time I go to launch something or promote something or send an email to my list and ask them to buy something or whatever, there are more people there to do that. Now, do I promote freebies and things that get people on my email list in other platforms? Abso-freaking-lutely. The majority of the leads come from YouTube. Now, this could be a freebie, like I said, so like a workbook or a PDF sheet or a template of some sort or whatever. It could be some kind of free thing, or it could even be an event like a webinar or like the podcast that I'm currently hosting that is a secret podcast that you have to sign up for to get access to. And when you sign up, you get on my email list, but you also get access to this thing that I promised you. And let's just take a minute and plug that for a second. So in the month of March, with the first official episode going live Tuesday, if you're watching this live, like this coming Tuesday, I am doing a secret podcast where I'm spilling all the YouTube secrets to YouTube growth. So anything you need to know about growing on YouTube right now in the current climate in 2023 is going to be on this secret podcast. There's going to be one episode a week dropping with several bonus episodes in there too. So it's going to be a ton of content for you to listen to, and you can still sign up. So you can go to heyjessica.com/SHH, heyjessica.com/shh. Okay, and I'll put that on the screen right here. But I would love to have you. We have, I think, over 1,500 people signed up for that secret podcast, so I'd absolutely love to have you. You're going to learn a ton. It's going to be so much fun, and I think it's a really cool way to like deliver the information that I would normally do in like a webinar or whatever in this like podcast that's going on for a month, and it's secret, so only people who sign up get to see it. And again, that URL is heyjessica.com/SHH. Okay. Those are amazing ways to get people on an email list. And those are the ways that I use most. My YouTube channel, promote a freebie. My Instagram, promote a freebie. My podcast, promote a freebie. All of those things promoting this like secret podcast. All of those things promoting a webinar, whatever. And here's the thing, by the way, a lot of people, especially when I was first starting, but I'm also noticing it more now too, for some reason, people think that they can just create an email list and people want to be on it. Y'all, that is not the case. Like, who wants another email in their inbox? I know I don't. You know? And so people are not just going to sign up to your email list because you promised them cool information. Like, they're just not. You have to have a really specific, special niche for that to be the case. We do have people like Ali Abdal and Colin and Samir in the creator space who have created a weekly newsletter or bi-weekly newsletter that goes out that has a specific purpose and premise behind it. And people are signing up for that. But again, that's still an exchange of the email address for something they want. Nobody's just going to sign up for the sake of signing up. You've got to give them some kind of reason, thing, purpose, whatever to sign up to this email list. Now, freebies have been a really successful strategy to growing the email list since I started in this online business world. And now they kind of took a nosedive a couple of years ago, and people were signing up for less freebies than they were before. And we were doing more like low cost offers and things like that to get people on our email list. And those are still really valid ways to get people on our email list, but freebies have made a comeback. It's actually really funny because if you don't know that you can do this, you can go to Facebook's ad library and you can see the ads that other people run. So if I wanted to go see the ads that like Amy Porterfield runs, I can go to the ad library and I can type in Amy Porterfield and I can select her page and I can see what ad she runs. This is a really great way to keep a pulse on what is working in the ad space, because if there's people spending money on ads and people that have ads running, then they're probably keeping up with like what's working and doing tests and things like that. And what's really cool is 2 or 3 years ago, when you clicked on that, everything led to a low cost offer. Everything led to a $7 product, a $27 product, a $37 product. And that was the way people were getting people on their email list. But now freebies are back. When I go and I look at other people's ads, other people are running or whatever, I can get a pulse on the fact that like freebies are back. People are running paid ads to freebies again. And that wasn't happening just a few years ago. So while there's a million other ways that you can gain thousands of new leads per month on your email list, I mostly do that with free tools that I can give my audience. and YouTube. Like those two things paired together work really, really, really well for me. And they have worked really, really well for me since I started on YouTube. Like I didn't have that many subscribers, maybe a couple hundred subscribers, when I started seeing that every time I would promote a freebie on YouTube, I was getting way more signups than if I promoted them on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So if you're frustrated with trying to gain new leads to your business every single month, new leads to get on that email list, new ways to get people on the thing, it might be that it's not necessarily the thing you're trying to use to get them on the list, like the freebie or whatever. That may be awesome. It may be the method, the vehicle that you're trying to use to promote that freebie. Maybe you need to try YouTube. Maybe YouTube could help you gain thousands of leads per month for your business too. Again, if that's the case, if you're like, oh, maybe I might want to do that, definitely check out the secret podcast, heyjessica.com / that's hard to say, by the way, heyjessica.com / okay, heyjessica.com / SHH. It's a secret podcast to teach you all the things for YouTube growth. And we are going to talk a lot about like gaining leads and things like that in that podcast too. Growing an email list is one of the scariest parts of being an entrepreneur for new people, but also one of the best things you could ever do for your business, for your sales, like whatever. And like I say, I have a bajillion other videos. I don't know which side of the screen they're going to show up on, but I have other videos to teach you like exactly how to set up an email list, all of that kind of stuff. So I will make sure they are popping on the screen right now. And until next time, bye y'all.